Welcome to the Retrieving Catholicity podcast, where we think about life and ministry in light of the whole truth with the whole church for the whole world.
Welcome into what is the final episode. I know, lots of tears, weeping, and gnashing of teeth of Retrieving Catholicity. And I want to explain a little bit why I say final episode and why that's not necessarily the end of content related to the theme of Catholicity, but why I am sort of stopping for the summer and don't have plans to do another episode of this exact podcast. So the goal of this podcast has been to take some themes from my dissertation and apply them broadly and think about, and you've seen this throughout the episode, you can just scroll through them. There are some that have zoned in specifically on the doctrine of Catholicity. I probably could have done a few more of those, but I kind of said what I feel like I needed to say, and much more might have gotten repetitive or more esoteric, because I wanted to keep this accessible for interested church members and pastors who aren't necessarily trying to get into the field of studying, ecclesiology or church history or Baptist history at a much, much deeper level. But I wanted to take my dissertation research and then give it a popular outflow, and popular not in like broad, but popular in like level, like just for normal people. And so in my dissertation, I asked a threefold question. What is Catholicity? When evangelical Baptists talk about it, what are we talking about? Is Catholicity consistent with historic Baptist faith and practice? And is it a helpful pursuit for pastors and theologians today? That was the guiding question of my dissertation. And I have tried in these podcast episodes to really narrow down on that third question. Like, is it a helpful pursuit for pastors and theologians today? I've argued in the dissertation, and some here on the podcast, obviously, especially early on, that evangelical Baptists have implicitly affirmed the Catholicity of the church without really a shared understanding of what that means and how much that matters. So the dissertation sought to summarize evangelical Baptist engagement with Catholicity, maybe clarify its meaning, work towards a more coherent doctrine of it, and then explore its implications for the church, for us today in our local churches. I've argued that Catholicity is a doctrine of wholeness and universality, which is ontologically grounded in the free initiative of God that demands a posture of charity and partnership. I believe those things are still true, and I want to continue working on it and writing on it, and hopefully there will be projects to come in the months and years that will give further opportunities for doing so. I think we've exhausted a lot of the topics. I'm kind of like, okay, I could either go deeper in the weeds of my dissertation or just like branch out further and further from Catholicity. And I don't really want that one word to define my entire ministry, even if it is a big theme. So I just want to take a step back. And I also want to say, like, I am not primarily a content creator, and I don't want to be primarily a content creator. That I don't really love the term content as a whole. It feels almost like when we talk about calories, like the food itself doesn't matter. We just need calories, right? It's almost like this vessel of intellectual thought or stimulating thought or entertainment or infotainment, I guess. Not that I'm not the most entertaining guy in the world, right? Yeah. But I do think sometimes we can do too much. And I just feel like I'm 33 years old and I need to listen more than I talk still. And I've talked a lot on these 2 seasons. And so I want to spend more time in this next season of life being with our little kids, but really what spurs on the shift of focus is less external. It's all out here. Share it with your friends. You know where to find it. You know where to find the podcast feed, the videos on YouTube, etc. We will use this feed. We might post some sermons on the YouTube site or tag it at least so that you can see some sermons of mine so that the YouTube feed is alive. I'll continue to update that maybe in months ahead. But I just want to focus a little bit on stuff for our church, right? Theological content for our church. And that's the goal of a pastor, is to serve the church. I think I have some things to say to the broader church. Time will tell how much I have to say to the broader church, but I do know that I have a lot more to learn from the broader church. So I want to spend a lot of time listening. I don't regret doing the podcast. I love it. I've enjoyed it. I'm thankful for Cass's hard work on it. He's worked harder than anyone on it. It has started and continued many important conversations. It still will, I hope. These themes, I hope, will have audiences in written form in the coming months and years. We're not done talking about Catholicity. But I want to just listen more than I talk for a little bit. 33 years old, still young. If I talk a whole lot more, I risk out kicking my coverage. I risk saying things about things I don't know a whole lot about, and I don't want to do that. So I wanted to provide a little bit of so what and why are we stopping now? I still think that we need to retrieve Catholicity. I think the term Catholic can be used like evangelical in the 21st century, a shorthand way to describe Christians who are committed to the whole truth for the whole church, for the sake of the whole world. I think it could be a term to describe Christians who embrace the witness of saints across time and space, who lock arms together for the salvation of sinners, for the life of the world, and for the glory of our risen King and triune God. So I hope we'll continue to retrieve Catholicity, to think of ourselves as part of one holy Catholic and Apostolic Church, to be thoughtful in the way we do ministry. I hope these videos and these episodes will serve you well. I hope you'll plug into your local church. If you're not a part of a local church, you've just found this on YouTube or you're feeling out Resurrection, come join us. Like, this happens in relationships with people. This happens in real life. This is an embodied thing. So this is a call to continue the work in local churches. I am going to spend some time hopefully doing some theological content things for our church. I am going to write more. I just want to learn more. When I talk about writing, I often check myself if a desire to write without a desire to read is usually a sign of pride. And so writing for writers, and a writer will tell you, is a form of thinking. It's a form of thinking through something to where you can communicate it and articulate it and do so in a compelling and clear way. And so for me, I want to spend a season of learning again, writing again, just focusing on those things and just serving our church well. God's blessing this work. He's growing this work. So this YouTube channel will exist. Things will pop on it from time to time, but you're not going to be getting weekly episodes of Retrieving Catholicity. But I do hope that you won't unsubscribe. I hope that you'll stay here, because there will be things that land here in the years ahead, in the months ahead, and I hope it serves the church well. So all that to say, I'm stepping back for a little bit. I've said a lot of what I wanted to say. There's still more to say, but I think the further we get, I could just say it in a broader conversation, and we'll start a podcast, I'm sure, again in the future. For now, we're focused on the local church. I'm going to spend a lot of time with our little girls, and let's have a good summer. Thank you so much for being a part of this journey. I hope it's helped you. Let me know if it has, if it's challenged you, if it's encouraged you. Those are stories I like to hear. And if nothing else, thank you. Thanks for being a part of this journey. God has used it in ways that has been a blessing to me. So I've enjoyed it. Stay locked in. Stay faithful to your local church. Think about yourself in light of the whole. Why are you where you are, doing what you're doing? How are you part of this broader Christian church that's doing God's work in God's world for God's glory? So thanks for being a part of the journey. The journey's not over, but this chapter has come to a close. Thanks.